Hello, my name is Courtney Cardini and I am a travel writer and photographer, and welcome to my channel. So it's been about a month since I posted my last video and a lot has happened since then, so I thought I would do an update as I am kind of restructuring what it is that I am focusing on. So I have decided to move into more of a writer tube because the last couple weeks I just signed with a literary agent to publish my first travel memoir. So that is the project that I will be taking on for the next couple of months. As some of you know, I do travel full time with my partner, and the last time we spoke, we were in Germany. And I believe we just got back from Montenegro. We had a conference in Montenegro, and then we were in Germany for a little bit with my partner's family, and then we headed off to Andorra for because my partner had a conference to go to, and then we were in Barcelona, and then we made our way to the US and then to Canada because we joined Whalin America for a cruise with the Digital Nomads. So we did the Digital Nomad 13 cruise, which was from Vancouver to Yokohama, Japan, which is where we currently are. We are outside one of the train stations and we are in Japan for the next few weeks. And then for the rest of the year, we will be traveling through Asia. And then while I was on the ship, I had a meeting with a literary agent that I met, and then I decided to sign on with him. So I thought I would discuss how I found my literary agent and why I decided to work with him. So I've been, for the last 2 years, I was working on the National Geographic Resolution, so I was a sailor, and then this year I decided to pivot and go back into travel writing and photography full time while I was working on my debut travel memoir. So I hit about 65,000 words on my first draft, and I was in Germany and I was listening to the Hungry Authors podcast, which I had found at the beginning of the year, and they just released their first book in August. And they do interviews with nonfiction writers and people that work in the publishing industry. And it's a great podcast. I highly recommend checking it out. I really enjoy it. And since they were releasing their first book in August, which is a joint, it's co-written between the two women, they also interviewed their literary agent. And I really liked the podcast. I thought it was great. And I really liked the literary agent. And he was talking about how he used to work for Penguin Random House. And now he has decided to move into the field of being a literary agent, and he only takes on about 4 clients a year, and his main focus is new authors. And I was sitting there listening to it and I was like, oh, I'm a new author. So I decided to check out his webpage and learn a little bit more about him. And then, I was like, you know what, let me just shoot him an email and see what happens. So I sent him an email and I sent him the proposal of the book that I was working on. And he emailed me back and he was like, okay, I have a few things going on and I'm not taking on any new clients until the end of the year. So let's try to have a talk in September. And I was like, okay, awesome, because we were traveling full time and I was still working on the draft, but I was still also querying to other literary agents. And then the other week rolled around and we finally had the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting, and I really liked him, and I think that we're a good fit. And I was really looking for a literary agent who, one, wanted to work with new authors, but also had been in the industry for a very long time. Because what a lot of people don't know about publishing is that it's its own beast entirety. Just like any other, just like being a sailor or being a digital nomad or, working for a corporate company, every industry and company has its own entity, basically. So it's very hard to get in. And also you want to make sure that you have the right guidance for when you're doing something like this. So I wanted someone who had been on the other end of working for a publishing house, being the person that picks the books that get published every year. So he really fit what I was looking for, because my intention is to make this a long-term career. Like, I'm not looking to write a book and it be a bestseller and live off that. I'm looking to, do more of a Ryan Holiday kind, or Krista Agathy, where I publish a book a year. I publish multiple books for the rest of my life. That is what I basically want to do, is to be able to publish books for the rest of my life. So I was really looking for somebody that was not only going to champion this one book, but also champion my career and help me with that longevity of which I am trying to reach. And as someone who's been in the publishing industry for a very long time, he really fit what it was that I was looking for. So we had a meeting, we thought it was a good fit, and then we decided to sign on. He only takes 4 clients a year. He does get 15%. What a lot of people also don't understand about literary agents is that they don't get paid until the book is published, or until the book is bought by a publishing house. So he receives 15% once I receive the advance. So if you ever find a literary agent who needs to be paid up front, run immediately. They're not someone, they're just not being truthful, and they're not being honest. Not only did because of this factor that they don't get paid until the book is sold, it makes me trust my literary agent more, because, he's putting in all this time and effort, and, he needs to make a living as well. So that is also a big thing when you're looking for a literary agent. So make sure you're looking for that and you check correctly. Now, this is not usually how it goes. Usually people can query for a year to 2 years looking for a literary agent. I just happened to stumble across somebody who he's not new to the industry, but he doesn't have as many clients that he is representing. He doesn't have as many authors that he's representing. He only takes 4 on a year, and sometimes like in my situation, I would like to write a book a year. That's not the case for every author. Every author is maybe a book every 5 years or something like that. It depends on what it is you're looking to get into. So I kind of just slipped into the slot that he hasn't taken on any new clients for 2025 as far as I know. So it was right time, right place. Most new authors who are looking for a literary agent don't run into that. They run into the situation where they are querying multiple times. Like the other literary agents that I was querying, one never even read my proposal, and then a few of them said no. So mostly because they wanted to work with writers who were more established, which I understand, because depending on where you are in your career as a literary agent, how much effort are you wanting to put into the situation and into the relationship. So that's something that I want to, put as a warning. That's not usually how the situation goes, where you have one meeting and you hit it off. It just depends. Some people do. Some authors will, word of mouth, they'll say that they're looking for a literary agent, and then they'll be introduced to somebody. So that could also happen. So it all just depends. But that's what my situation was. I just happened to email somebody who said they wanted to represent new authors, and I just took a chance and to see what would happen. So that's where we are at the moment. I've completed the first draft of 73,000 words. I do intend on maybe publishing only 60,000. One, because I am a new author, and as a new author, if you're going to come out with a debut book that is over 300 pages, it is less likely that you are going to be able to attract new readers to you, because you have to remember the book that you're writing is for readers, and you're competing with a lot of things. You're asking these people to put their faith in you, that you are going to, one, maybe answer the question that they're looking for answered, or entertainment. So there's a lot of factors when you are trying to do a debut novel, and since it is, or not novel, I'm sorry, a debut book, and since I am working in nonfiction, that's also a little harder too. because, you know, you are competing for readers' time, basically. So we're at 75,000 words, probably going to kick it to 60,000 depending on who purchases the book. So right now at the moment, my literary agent and I are working on the book proposal. And also for new authors, just so you know, the book proposal is really on you. Like, it's not the literary agent's job to complete a lot of this. So do be aware of that. And also when it comes to marketing and everything like that, that is also on the writer. A lot of people don't know that as well. So I'll list 5 books down below that I think would be extremely helpful for everybody, especially the Hungry Authors new book that they put out for nonfiction writers. I think that is a great resource to go to. So I'll list 5 books that were extremely helpful when it comes to publishing a new book and getting into the publishing industry. So yes, so that is what's going on at the moment. And because of that, because I've signed on with a literary agent and I'm really dedicated to this, I've decided that I'm going to put all of my focus towards that, which means I'm going to turn my YouTube, even especially since it's a new channel, I'm going to turn my YouTube channel into an author tube basically, and we're going to work on the travel memoir together. So I'm here to be completely transparent and share my experience with what it's like to be a debut writer. And then I'm looking to build a community. I'm also going to be working on a podcast, and I still run my travel blog and my Substack. So if you have any questions, put them down below. Let's, get a conversation going. I know a lot of people want to do this, and people want to travel full time and they want to write books, and, they want to experience the world. And that is the point of writing this travel memoir, is that I want to help people realize that you can do it. Like, the world is not as scary as people make it out to be. And I want, to build a community, because traveling is great and I love it. And, we just spent 2 weeks on a cruise with digital nomads. And the great part about that is that they have a conference during the sea days. So I met a lot of amazing people and I learned a lot of new things that I'm going to try to be implementing into my YouTube channel and my blog and my podcast and everything. And, I hope it inspires others to go out there and see what you can create. So yeah, so that's it for the moment. But any questions you have any questions, leave them down below. If you're looking for book recommendations, or just have a random question about Japan or anything, I'm open to seeing what happens. So I hope you have a great week.